I had a conversation earlier this week with someone who was constantly being interrupted by people. Can you help me, please? Something's just come up. Could you do this? I've had an idea that I want to share with you, and on and on. The trouble is, this person's a very accommodating person and a good team player, but the consequence of all this disruption is a feeling of underachievement of the things that they themselves needed to do. Whilst it might only be a "can I grab you for 2 minutes" request, it's much more than that, isn't it? Firstly, it's never just 2 minutes. Secondly, the break in the concentration can send you off course. And lastly, it can take a fair bit of time to get back in flow. So we discussed the importance of balancing being a good team player with creating boundaries to help protect them, to allow them to be productive on their own tasks. To help start to frame the discussion around boundaries, we used a phrase to help us. Someone's disorganization doesn't have to be my urgency. Here's what they came up with. Firstly, position with the team the current challenge that you're facing. Secondly, express to them your genuine intent to help. And then thirdly, define some rules. So for example, how urgent is this? Or can it wait? If it can't, then of course they'd help. But if it can, then let's discuss that at a later time. And then diarise one-to-one time that people can discuss their points and get input on. Start saying, put it on your list and we'll discuss it at our one-to-one. And then when we do meet to discuss stuff, don't just give answers to people's questions. Ask them lots of questions back. Get them doing the thinking. Let them come up with the answers. Now, two important things happen here. Firstly, you're helping the other person build their own independence by getting them to think things through for themselves. Over time, they'll become less reliant on you serving up the answers. Secondly, the more questions that you ask them, the more it'll feel like hard work for them to come to you in the first place. And so they might just start to think things through for themselves. They might end up starting to think that it's easier to think things through for myself than get a barrage of questions back. Either way, all is good. They've grown and your time is freed up. It's a genuine win-win. What do you think?